It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. Off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get it higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mic, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun diary politico.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Maiyegun diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Prẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé. Hello there, and welcome back to those who joined us earlier on brunch time with Maiyegun. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and a good evening to you from wherever you have decided to join us this hour. This is Maiyegun live. So I did something tonight. I turned off all the lights. So I'm just using my screen lights now, just experimenting. So please, after reading the caption of the broadcast, kindly read the description of the broadcast as well. Like it, share it, invite your friends and your not so friendly friends and tell them that Maiyegun today, let's sit and hear what he has for us tonight, as usual. So, and if you have shared the broadcast already, thank you. Gracias. So tonight, we are starting with what is going to be another waste of time, waste of judicial time, waste of resources and all of that. The stupid adventure that the overzealous DSS, Dopemu Stupid Service, have always been doing under every regime. Tinubu went to Brazil, where, according to him, they went to attract investors to Nigeria. So, in a state-organized dinner for Tinubu, and he was addressing his host, I believe, and the supposed investors, where he was just lying and most of it incoherent. However, talking about his own reform, how the reform has been, tough, but however, it's been so wonderful, tremendous, because people are beginning to feel it to the point that his reform has also ended corruption in Nigeria. So people reacted, including myself. A lot of people reacted like, what the heck? What are you saying? Like, is it this one that we are witnessing on? Or which one? Which Nigeria? What's he talking about? Omoyele Sowore too reacted harshly, of course, in trashing Tinubu. Sowore said, hey, this person parading himself as a president of Nigeria is a criminal. So he now put out an hashtag that Tinubu is a criminal. That is what got the attention of the Dopemu Stupid Service. And what did they do? First, they wrote to Sowore to retract that. Why would you call the president of the country a criminal? People started, throwing their usual emotional garbage, try to gaslight and do all of that. But now, it didn't work. The Dopemu Stupid Service then premised their own action on these people's reactions by saying Sowore should put down that post where he called Tinubu a criminal. He didn't just call him a criminal, he listed his known crime and all of that, so that it's not like it's just using the word freely. No, he is a criminal. Here. Do you understand? So Sowore resisted and said, well, you guys must be joking. Like Bukwari did try to control people's species. And these state agents who dissipate so much energy looking for who is saying what about the president of the contraption than how much time they actually spend tracking the active criminals, like the terrorists. So he resisted. He said, no. They said this post could cause the breakdown of law and order in Nigeria, and himself being a leader of an opposition political party, somebody who aspired to want to be president of Nigeria someday, that he shouldn't be saying things like that. Well, he insisted that he's not pulling it down. The next move was for the DSS, right, to write to Elon Musk, as well as Mark Zuckerberg, I've been on Zuckerberg. So they wrote to him and said, hey, maybe you could do us this favor. Could you please take Sowore off your platforms? Because he's using your platforms to incite the people against the government. He is planning to burn down the country. And the only way we could stop him is to make sure you take him off your platforms, or else the government will need to take action. Right? I think both platforms ignored them. So this time they now wrote to Sowore again. They gave him an ultimatum. Hey, you have to pull it down at so time. Again, Sowore resisted and said, do your worst. Remember, he's currently facing another court case with the illegal IG. I think they called him illegal general of police, IGP. That's right. Illegal general of police, who is currently suing him for cyberbullying by amplifying the corruption that's within the police that has denied the active officers their genuine promotions, and at the same time denied those who have retired their own benefits. So this is considered as an attack on the IG. And finally, the IG himself is illegal, because you know the story, right? So he's in court for that. Cyberbullying, all kind of like charges, funny like that. So the DSS have now added their own, because to them, Sowore's action is not only just to defame Tifnumbu, his action also could incite you, all right, to go after them. And that's going to be tomorrow. So they are expecting the representatives of Facebook, Metta, X, Twitter, that's Elon Musk, as well as Sowore's lawyers to appear in court tomorrow. It was in that court today. That is where we are going to start from this evening, right? So, Omoyele Sowore in front of their federal high courts this morning.
It was supposed to be a case filed by the Inspector General of Police, illegal General Police, as I like to call them, considering the allegation that I call the IGP an illegal IGP. That was the case that led to the seizure of my passport around January, February 2025. Ever since the judge succeeded in granting bail with that condition, seizing my passport, the judge has practically absconded from the case. That is Justice Lima. This is probably our fourth time of coming to court, in which he gave the excuse that he has gone to a seminar, he's bereaved. Today, we came to court and he said he has gone for another seminar. And he will not be back until December 3rd, because he's also going on vacation. So our lawyers are going to put heads together and make a decision on what to do. As we've always told you, the reason we come to court is because we want to expose everything that's wrong with this country. The judicial system, the police, the rotten police system, the agencies, ministries, and the department of governments who have been doing Nigerian dirty. We are here to expose. That's why we come to court. I have said it from day one. We don't come to court because we expect justice. We come to court because we want to bring justice to our courts. That's our goal. And it includes exposing some of these justices who have been doing us dirty in Nigeria. So that is the outcome of today's case. We walked into the courtroom, judge absent, and we also went to another courtroom where we'll be appearing tomorrow. In that case, between myself and the State Security Service, alias DSS. They also sued me for calling President Tinubu a criminal. And they've not only charged me, they've also charged Metta, known as Facebook. Their parent company is Metta, and also Twitter, known as X. What we don't know is if they are succeeding in serving them. But we'll be in court tomorrow for that. Also on Thursday, the cybercrime case filed by the Commissioner of Police of the FCT against me on behalf of Senator Ned Nwoko, former PDP, current APC. It's also coming up. So we just want to give you, in a simple language, the Americans call them boogeymen. And these are people they plant everywhere, whether in the military or paramilitary, to carry out hits against citizens who are opposed to bad governance.
So they do all of that just to probably tie him down in that contraption. However, Sowore himself is like, if you have not been sued, arrested, like by these guys, and then charged for frivolous, charge you with the frivolous charges, then that means whatever you are doing seems not to have really gotten to the raw side of the roads in charge of that contraption, especially if you are in Nigeria. Do you get what I mean? You are living around them, so close to them, and you are very vocal. And you indeed, what you are doing or being vocal about, raising awareness now, things that they would rather nobody touches, the way you are trying to, then probably you have not really gotten there, Sowore. Because all the video that got or kickstarted this new legal, mockery by the Dokpemu Stupid Service, DSS, is this clip where Kolu was talking about his reform.
The reform that I've embarked upon since I took over in Nigeria has been very impactful. I can beat my chest for that. It was initially painful, but today the result is blossoming. It's getting clearer to the people. We have more money to the economy, no more corruption. We have the governor of Central Bank here. You don't have to know him before you get the foreign exchange that you need. The speculators are out in our currency market. The door is open for businesses. Easy in, easy out.
That's what Kolu said and more. But the fact that he also said that he's already defeated corruption and bring your money in, easy out. I think that's his own favorite line when he's talking about money and the investment. Don't worry, bring your money, you'll be able to take your profit out. All right? You get your money back and all that stuff. Easy in, easy out. Anyway, Sowore was like, I know this is a criminal. That is not even like defamatory. Nigeria has been hijacked by career criminals for a while. That is why Tinubu could become your president, so to say. So, if you are now pointing at the criminals, there's a difference between to say they are public office holders are criminals, this or that. They are heartless, they are inhuman, they don't love the people, the blah. But if you are not able to pinpoint them and what they have done, like we are doing, you are not being sincere. It's like using one brush to paint everybody, and it's like so convenient, so easy. When you look at what these rogues are doing, their actions, their inactions, and all of that stuff, right? You can tell what kind of crime are they committing. Economic crime, security crime, financial crimes, which is economic crime as well, right? Against the country. Do you get that now? It will be anywhere they will give him money, hide whatever the arrangement is from the people, and just paint a glossy picture of, yeah, don't worry, whatever it is you are passing through now, you see, the baby step of pain is like a very, very painful operation, surgery, or after the whole thing, then everybody will be fine. The Zobo that they are trying to sell. The opposition on the other side. Hang on, no, there's another clip of him talking about he's not interested in money. You remember when his wife said that they have their money, they are not interested in Nigeria's money. They just want to make sure that, but yet they are living off you in a never seen before way, right? Kolu once said,
And I'll tell you, I didn't come to look for money. That is the situation. I came to work. I asked for the votes. And they gave it to me.
did they call you? Did they give it to you? You succeeded in snatching, grabbing, and running with it. Story for another day, though. It can be repeated again and again if you won't get bored. Anyway, that was Kolu talking about it didn't come for money. It came for the job. It came for the job. You know? And he is doing exactly what he came to do. The rest of people, we just have to either get used to it or totally reject it. It's up to you. Pat Utomi, who announced a while back that it would be going back to Nigeria, okay, to set up an interim government, which then would bring everybody together in Nigeria, organize a national conversation to deliver a national constitution in which before any other election is held, right? This would be the best step to take to save Nigeria. You remember that broadcast? Yeah. And he was so sure of himself, but he's never been to Nigeria since then. He's been in the US, by the way. So, but they did go to court. They went to court. And their court in Nigeria ruled by saying, no, don't try that. That is going to bring about breakdown of law and order. Because you cannot put together another authority and call it a constituted authority when there is an existing one. The blah. Here is after court.
The court, in line with what we canvassed before it, has declared that there is no provision whatsoever for the formation of a shadow government or shadow cabinet. What that means is that if you have any criticism that you want to make about the government of the day, you do it through either your representative in the National Assembly, or you express it without forming anything that has any government attached to it. You cannot have two masters at the same time piloting a ship. That is the essence of what the court has just said. And it also shows that Nigeria is not a place where anything goes. There's a constitutional order, there's a constitutional way of doing things in the country, and that constitution must be respected. It must be obeyed. You don't just import just anything from anywhere and want to superimpose it on the country. It will not work. This is not a country that is lawless. It is not the fact that the government, with respect, is accommodating, does not mean that you can just trample upon the rights of every other Nigerian or the authority of the government. That is, in summary, what the court have just said. So there is a perpetual injunction restraining the defendant and any other person that may want to go that way from forming that sort of government. Thank you so very much.
Makes it illegal. So to put it in an ordinary kind of, or in a layman explanation, what Utomi proposed, which is, he called it shadow government or a shadow cabinet. So it simply means that the opposition, okay, they will have, for example, now let's say they have the presidential candidate, who is also probably the head of the political party. So they will, within themselves, they will now appoint you, Minister of Finance, you, Minister of this, you, and all of that. You get. So they will be having cabinet meetings, enough that they are like the alternative government. They won't have authority per se though. But others have interpreted it as more or less like saying, oh, let us form an interim government in a way that, because according to him, right, people need to, some things needs to happen before you can go ahead and participate in another charade, because it is going to end up same way. That's why I said going into any election, any charade called election right now, is just like going into a war empty-handed and expected your opponent to be nice to you when his intention is actually to get rid of you. So why participate in an election that you already know that institutionally it's been compromised? The institutions that are supposed to conduct this supposed election are compromised in so many ways, but then you participate and you probably feel like, oh, you've been robbed. And they say, but why did you participate when you knew that the rules were not fair? By chance, Tifnubu will have an advantage. And he's been telling them that he is not Jonathan. Oh, he is not Jonathan. Oh, though time will tell, by the way. But his handlers have been saying that if you think it's just going to go down like that of Jonathan, then you have no idea what they have in stock for you. So if you want them to be fair, simply means that you just have to start the battle now. You just have to make it obvious that whether the National Assembly, right, you have to show the strength that, listen, this have to happen, even if it's not going to be everything. But going into that charade with them, only to cry, foul play later, is just playing into their hands. But right now, their court says, no, don't get shadow cabinet. Don't get interim this. Don't even bring anything that has to do with government into your political participation. But they have the chance of going on to appeal. That's what they said. They can go on and appeal and say, no, they still want a shadow government that would give Nigerians the alternatives. But we'll leave that. It was saying something about law. Nigeria is a lawful country. It's not a lawless country. There was a time somebody said, why is it that all these exposés, the corruption exposés on the politicians, I'm talking about active politicians right now, how come the EFCC or those anti-corruption or anti-graft agencies not really looking into them? For example, we looked into some of the lifestyle of Willie Wike, and we found that he's been, dipping his fingers into the cookie jar. He's been helping himself to some of your money. Do you understand? And this information is simply because, number one, people were concerned, and we did a background check and we realized that, no, it's true. EFCC will tell you that they will need you to send a petition if you want to if you want to report any criminal politician in Nigeria, their anti-graft agency would expect you, like they are not in that contraption. Oh. They have all the tools, all of the needed tools to investigate all these things. But you will need to write a petition. And as a petitioner, you need to attach proof to your petition if you want them to act. So, for instance, if you want to prove that with a wiki inflated the renovation of that hall in Abuja, 39 billion naira, and you have evidence that with a wiki helped himself to some cash. So they want you to prove, to attach those, which means they want you to be the investigator before they would then act. But they don't need anybody's petition, investigation, or anything before they bust into people's homes, into people's rooms in hotels. And that was supposed to be a country with law, according to that Nigeria lawyer. He is also DSS lawyer, by the way. This was the EFCC acting as usual, different from the way they will act when they are dealing with Nigerian criminal politicians.
Oh God. What is
So that was an hotel. They burst in, raided everyone. People who have had very, very sad experiences in the hands of some of these security agents and especially the EFCC. I don't know about you though. It hasn't happened to me. And simply because I barely visit Nigeria that much. So I haven't experienced it. So if you are like, visiting Nigeria with your girlfriend or anything, and then you just be like they are robbing people, or maybe they are even kidnappers, based on the stories you have heard about these strange things that could happen in that place, right? Only to discover that, there are some men, they call them EFCC. EFCC what? And boom, they're in your room. You're naked, and there they are. Like, I don't know. I kind of like, that traumatizes me. Imagining it traumatizes, because it has happened. And I mean, happened many times, where people have shared their sad story, but nobody is listening to them. Lawless, brutal, and brutish. Brutish. They don't treat the criminal politicians that way. You will have to go extra mile. And if you go out of your way in gathering evidence against these criminal politicians, right? It will then surprise you that you will then become the suspect, just like that. And before you know it, the same EFCC will hand you over to DSS. DSS will hand you over to police if that much, or if they just want DSS to keep you. So DSS will then charge you for defamation. Now later, if you leave, later, you probably will never talk about it again after that, because immediately their media will pick the story and say, oh, he is trying to blackmail the wife of the former governor. He was asking them for 2 billion naira bribe. And that was how the DSS. So the EFCC invited the man. They now discovered that the information this guy presented, the information was complete falsehood. So they handed him over to DSS. So it is now the case between him and DSS. Why are people like that? Somebody helped you. Somebody gave you appointment. Now you are going back to backbite him. You are going back to want to destroy him. You think you are reporting to these criminals. Do you think they don't even know what these guys are doing? They do. But they say, you have to write a petition to tell them that they are stealing. Then you have to prove to them that. So now when you do that, right, what they will do next is to call the criminal. They say, Your Excellency, you need to come to my office. Say, sir, you need to be very careful with all these guys around you, all these boys you are sending your errand and all that. Do you know that one of them came to my office? I went to one of my officers, and it was a very smart officer, very, very smart guy. Immediately saw your name and every evidence and all that. Was like, this is your gas friend now. So he brought it to my attention. So right now, I just want to advise you, because look, how did this one get into that boy's hand? Say, sorry, can you imagine? This is one boy that I tried to help. He's coming to ruin me. That means to expose me. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. So what do you think we are going to do? No, my boys will handle that. They will handle that. Just make sure you take care of all of this. I will. Thank you so much. And the EFCC chairman be that. You will be on your way to the DSS dungeon. And they will tell the world, you are a blackmailer who is attempting to squeeze some money from this former governor who wanted to destroy his name. You will never tell your story. And even if you try to, only few will probably believe you. That is Nigeria. The people you will report to, the people who are paid with taxpayers' money to ensure that stuffs like this never happen, and wherever they happened, the culprits should be severely punished. No, that is not how it works. The current TFCC chairman told the world that if Yeye Bello is not prosecuted, he will resign. Today, the story is different. Now he's now talking about how the Yahoo boys are destroying the name of Nigeria abroad. Not these rogues. Not these rogues. Like the world is not aware of how the criminals in Nigeria are living so large, are mostly above the law. Like the rest of the world is probably like frozen, like they are currently frozen somewhere, right? That it's only Nigeria that is currently active or existing in this world. The world is not aware. Because that's how they are living in their bubble. Say small fries to make them look good. You get what I mean? It's crazy, sure. That one is on the side. Talking about the government agency and all that. I was reading just about 2 days ago, right? Then I confirmed it yesterday. Then again today, that it is actually true that Baba, they stole police van. Are you with me? Police IG's van. Trucks, right? Among the cars, the police cars in Abuja, they stole police car in front of the police IG office. You remember we used to joke about something that is so real that you would never believe is true. Or you may find it difficult to believe it's true. And what is that? Since this APC, Egbekegbe came to power, strange things have been happening. And people have sort of like become so used to it. For example, it is in Nigeria today that the police station, you will see police stations in some part of Nigeria today, right? They open at 10 a.m. and they close by 4 p.m. for security reason. Police station, I'm not saying that police officers close, no, police station for this community, for security reason, they have to shut by 4. It is in Nigeria. It is in Nigeria you will go to police station, right? To go and report that they have stolen your generator, only for you to see that the police generator get about 16 padlocks, 16 chains that they tie it to the tree, tie them to tire, tie them to the frame, tie them to the foundation of the building. Police, so inside police station. And they will tell you that they have learned their lessons too, because people won't stop stealing the generators from police stations. These are things that you will look at and they may sound funny, but they are not like, they are real, but they are unbelievably real in that contraption. Stealing police van in front of police station. It's not really new, but steal police van. Even this guy had to make a joke of it, but it's actually not funny.
People get mind though. I dey scroll the street of internet yesterday. I just see this news. I just see this thing. This thing just pop up. I can't read them and say God. Just read, just listen. Nigerian police official vehicle stolen from force headquarters in Abuja.
Are you playing? What type of plane is this?
That is insecurity take them to their headquarters. You know, you know what this thing means? Say Nigerian police, they park their official car, park and they steal them. Park and thief come carry. If thief he go police headquarters, go thief car. Who tell you say your compound this? Who tell you say you dey safe? Now, police they find your car. Imagine where they go police headquarters, make you go report, say they steal your car. You call reach there, they got to say, nah, so I take some more, they steal our own. This thing not too much for this Abuja. Muna hulu na car well. The police go come, they advise you. Say me you put car tracker. Because if they come headquarters, you know what police headquarters is? They don't come headquarters, they don't call state CID, they know headquarters for Abuja. First of all, the person enter, how the person enter the police station? Come wait. Target. Now this one you go here say, police they close by 7 no, because of insecurity. Now to give yourself bread, I read that man and they try process them. That is Nigeria go just this go just the happen for Nigeria upside down. You don't go understand that. You go NEPA office, they on gem. You go see where NEPA go then the office they talk say man we they fix solar here. We don't time for this NEPA wahala. For NEPA office. Now police headquarters for Abuja. Go come make call. Come vigilante. Vigilante will come the guard police headquarters. Secure yourself, boy. Everything don't pack. Police they tell the general public say they don't steal their car. Who help them find?
Pastor, oko ọlọ́pàá ń ṣọ́ pastor. Àwọn ọmọ ìjọ sticker ló ń ṣọ́ wa. Àṣé kò rí pé orí wa ti burú. Ìwọ má ti dá o, ìpápá ẹ̀dá rin. Lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àwọn báàbù tó ń jẹ. Kò jẹ́ gbèsè àgbẹ̀tọ̀ àbí kò gbẹ́rì tí kò gbé tí a fẹ́ jókòó tẹ̀rà. Gbẹ́rì tí bá yọ píù. Àwòyí àárín. Mo mọ̀ ní pé wà nínú báàbù pé ìgbà tó fẹ́ mú Jésù kọjá ní àárín òun ògèrí Jésù. Kí ni Jésù lò? Àfẹ́ rí ló lò. Ìwọ má ti dá ayé bàjẹ́.
Àbọ̀rọ̀ là sọ fọmọlúàbí tó bá délé àdì kíni o àdì òdìndí. Sorry if you don't understand Yoruba. That's a proverb. Yeah. They stole police van at the police headquarters, Abuja. You go to the NEPA office, PHCN, to complain that you have not been having regular power supply, only for you to get to their office and see them running generator. And another one is advertising. If you want to set up the solar panel, we fix solar panel here. Please call for your solar panel setup for NEPA office, because they themselves are using generator. You go to the you go to the general hospital or public hospital or anywhere, and then the doctor is telling you that your situation don't pass medical. Make you go use escalator. All those things, like the funny man will say, right, Mr. Funny. Some things will just happen in Nigeria that you just ask yourself that how would be this in 2025? Why is this happening? But you won't be able to possibly answer it because it is indescribable, so to say. So illogical enough that sometimes to save yourself any form of mental gymnastic or be stress, I can't give up now. Mentally, just give up. Say, well, help. You hear what I mean? Now, if anybody wants you to say, what do you mean? I say, listen, this Niger, you can't help this place with these characters in charge and how things are being done here, in which majority have become so numb to all these happenings that they even normalize them. They even see them as nothing. About that one and nothing, Jared. And then you just tell yourself that, bye, you only make it. Go possible. Like how? We have miracle called Mirabelle in it. You know? Because logically you can't really define it, you can't really describe them. So fortunate. And if vigilante the rescue police from kidnappers, it is in a play. Waiting we never see. Vigilante the rescue police officer from kidnappers. What an opposite. Everything is just always like opposite. It's only when you sit down and begin to kind of imagine and process them, then you say, man, but can you normal? But everybody should pretend that we won't number by. Do you understand? And then you begin to realize that, okay, so this is actually how everybody is living. This is how they have normalized abnormalities and pretended that, maybe if they are not talking about it that much, it won't really matter, then it will go away or something, because you normal, country where criminal politicians in 2025 will subject school children to this. This is a video made just this past Friday. Mubi in Adamawa in northern part of Nigeria. Children from this age, if they exposed, if you know what Nigeria exposed a lot of us to, right? The PTSD has messed up a lot of people, but many are just trying to, to stay normal. When you are exposed to things like this, at this very, very, very young age, they seem to actually have a longer impact on the people or on you. From Kizu.
Aga oke karatu? Ba kujeru? Tun yaushe? Ya kai shekara na? Shekara 3? To yanzu me kuke so gwamna ya muku? Mutum ɗaya tashi ya magana. Mutum ɗaya. Anyone?
We need chair. We need chair. We need books and school uniform.
What's the name of this school?
Movie 2.
Movie 2 what?
Primary school.
Primary school. How long have you been here without chairs?
We have belonged 3-4 years.
3 to 4 years.
Yes.
So what do you want governor to do for you now?
We want chair and books and uniform.
The most important one is chairs and tables and desks, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
So you made the clip to try to raise the awareness and bring it to the attention of government. This is 2025. Those of you who are going to see my videos in 2080, I'll be long dead, possibly. By that time, I hope in 2080, if this contraption no longer exists, videos like this, they will outlive people like myself, by the way. I mean, I believe, so they will outlive me. So those of you who are going to be seeing this video in 2070, 2060, right? Even if the contraption still exists, I hope that this will possibly be the reminder of the dark old days. By then, they would have finally come to their senses and asked the people if they still really want to be part of this contraption or not. And if they agree, maybe the contraption will still be existing in Nigeria, maybe existing then. And all these things we are currently passing through. If they are saying them to those of you who are going to be of that generation, you may never believe them. But we lived. Here again, we lived through this era. But what will be so sad is in 2080, you will watch Maiyegun's video. Who will be dead? By then, I'll be like long dead. My videos are probably going to have been cut into parts, right? If the contraption still existing and they are still what they are doing, may this time not come be the golden era. A lot of you will look back and be like, look at those ones in 2025. They were lamenting. Look at us now in the plantation farm, working in China as imported slaves from Nigeria, because that's why it's going to end. If Nigeria no break up to pieces and Nigeria failed to actually really discuss if they still want to be together or not. If these guys continue the way they are going, they are breeding generations that are going to become not only so stupid, miseducated, uneducated, they are going to breed generations that are going to be purposely for trade. They go to sell now for money. Because by then there is likely going to be practically not really of any valuable, your resources may not be of any real valuable then. Just saying. You see life, Because if you look at those who were like the Europeans, the Westerners, who were called the gatherers then, the animal gatherers, before they became what they have become and everything they've been through. So you see this generation of this Western population, so to say, right? They, no matter what they are currently benefiting, the advancement in technology and everything right now, when they look back to how their own ancestors survived, what they've been through, the plague, like that, and how many that died needlessly. Today they look back with pride and say, well, for those who survived, that's why they are still here. So those of us who are here, either those of you who have been mentally captured, I don't know, for those of you who have not been fully mentally captured, so to say, who are still speaking up, speaking out and fighting in their only two way, in their big way, and sacrificing as much as they probably will never be acknowledged. All of these things, people will look back in maybe decades to come and either look at you and say, oh, you did have it very rough. Oh, how did you survive? How did you survive the corruption that we are hearing about now? Because right now, if anybody tries to be corrupt, they will be killed. Take the Chinese, for example. They've always been like corrupt in perpetuity, and their country, their people have paid so hugely for that. But the men, they said enough. Today, the Chinese that are alive, we never understand what it was like to live in a country that is so corrupt. The people, the political office holders, have been an emperors. They are so selfish that they would rather care for themselves than care for their people. So those who are Chinese today will never understand what world was like then. Because to them, whatever it is driving their growth, their prosperity right now, well, is the vision of their leaders. And today they have to do everything to keep that. They have to do everything to safeguard it. They have to do everything to protect it. So maybe one day you too will look back after common sense must have prevailed, and you will look back and say, wow, how did the people like that Maiyegun person, how did they live and survive that era? Do you get what I mean now? Or they will look back and say, the complaints, all these ones who were complaining, making video in 2025, today, people will now say, this is 2085. I am the imported slave from Nigeria. Yeah, my name is Shukun name, you know. They will be making their own TikTok videos from the plantations they have sold them to make money so that they could feed those who are going to be left. Don't say it is impossible. With these guys who don't care about what will happen to you in 20 years, in 50 years, what's going to happen to Nigeria in 100 years. These guys don't give a damn. All those years ahead are collateral for them, collateral for loans. Loans they are taking that they have no intention of paying back, in which at the same time they are begging for loan forgiveness. But you are still with Bambi Alabo, collecting loan everywhere. On the other hand, you don't pretend say now only one hand you get. Say may they help you. You are powerless. You are harmless. I am powerless, disabled. Please cancel my debts. Come on, who does that? Shittyman was the United Nations General Assembly to represent a Golu, and then to probably meet some, third grade or fourth grade sort of like leaders to try and make it look like they are, they are representing Nigeria. So Shittyman went to United Nations to talk about the Gaza, Palestine, talk about debt forgiveness, talk about rockets and space and every other thing that's like it's imagined. But he did meet others too. I think he went for a program about on education or something. He did. I'm going to add this before he went to Germany. This is just like an extra. Shittyman.
As we move into the 2026-2030 period, GP has laid out a renewed investment case with an ambition to mobilize at least $5 billion. This level of funding is critical to unlocking the leverage, innovation, and outcomes that low-income countries need to drive sustainable progress. Why should world leaders and finance ministers prioritize this replenishment now? Yes. Education is a high-return public investment. Every additional year of schooling increases lifetime earnings and reduces the risk of fragility and conflict. Well-targeted education financing addresses the root causes of instability, from extreme poverty to youth unemployment. Second, GPE multiplies impact through grant financing, policy support, and targeted incentives. GPE mobilizes domestic resources and co-financing, multiplying the impact of every dollar invested. The GPE multiplier and co-financing mechanisms have unlocked billions in additional funding beyond GPE grants, demonstrating a model that transforms replenishment dollars into significantly greater system-wide investments. Third, it is a moral and legal obligation. Countries that ratify the CRC and regional instruments have a duty to fulfill the rights of their children. The international community must stand together to ensure those rights translate into classrooms, teachers, learning materials, and safe schools. As we move into the 2026-2030,
Shittyman. Yeah. He's a dramatics personnel. So he's talking about the beauty of education and why investment in education, the blah, the blah. And their own defense is that Tifnubu took away the education subsidy that makes education more accessible for poor Nigerians. He has changed that to student loan, where people have to access a loan to go to school. And yeah, that is raised by the likes of, that guy, Shittyman. Then he went on to meet the Namibia former vice president, who is now the president, that lady whose leader died sometime last year. I don't know if you remember. Yeah, so Shittyman, we don't read Wikipedia. Maiduguri Elon Musk started talking about the potentials of Namibia, just so they all pretend that they are meeting at the United Nations General Assembly meeting. Shittyman, they are serenade me. Abi, let her go first.
First, let me once again thank the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for having stood by us when we lost our founding president. You came yourself, and that really means a lot for us. So after that, I was then sworn in because this death happened between our elections, which took place in November, and then our inauguration, which normally takes place in March. So on March 21st, I then took office as the President of the Republic of Namibia. And I really found it appropriate that I can use this opportunity, though I will still find time to come physically, just to introduce myself to the President. We all know that Nigeria has been part of the frontline state. And this is the place where everything started. And all the Nigerian diplomats were basically all Namibians, helping in so many ways, even working on the documents, on the resolutions, and everything that led to Namibia's independence. So I really felt that I had to come and say I'm now in this office, and I am looking forward to continue strengthening cooperation between Namibia and Nigeria. So, and please, I'll ask that you pass that to His Excellency the President and of course the people of Nigeria. Namibia remains one of the countries that will continue to work closely with Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. On behalf of President Bola Tinubu, I wish to once again formally congratulate you over your victory at the polls and your subsequent swearing in as the President of the great nation of Namibia. What binds us together supersedes whatever that divides us. The distance hasn't dampened the enthusiasm and respect of the Nigerian people for the people of Namibia. SWAPO is as popular as our local parties in Nigeria. So when the founding president of Namibia died, the president mandated me go and spend a day or two. I was part of the entire process of the burial at the Hero Square in Wino. Nigeria has always been a frontline state. We shared the pains of the Namibian people in their struggle for independence. And in this UN year of reparation, Nigeria is solidly with the people of Namibia. for reparations to be paid to the Herero people who were massacred in a genocide. They are our brothers and sisters. We are all Africans. Our relationship ought not to be where it is now. There is a need for enhanced relationship between our two nations in trade. Namibia is a very blessed country in terms of natural resources. We have 20 billion barrels of oil. And we have players in the Nigerian oil industry where we have 69 years of experience who can really participate in an African enterprise. African resources need to be managed by Africans. Fish, salt, and so many other minerals can be exported from Namibia to Nigeria. I saw a very beautiful country. The drive from the city center to the airport, a distance of about 42 kilometers over there. I saw beautiful, a very beautiful picturesque landscape. It's God's gift to humanity. It's a very beautiful country. And be rest assured that the president holds you and the people of Namibia in the highest esteem. And I want to thank you and congratulate you for being at the forefront of gender empowerment initiatives. It wasn't by design. It came out as it is because you anchored on competence, and it turned out that nearly half of your team are made up of women. Any society that respects the women is a progressive society. So I want to align with you and solicit for your support in some of the international organizations where Nigeria is vying for membership, like the International Court of Justice, the International Maritime Authority, the UN Security Council, the non-permanent member, and so many other things that I will.
So shittyman. Speaking on behalf of this man, Kalu, right? Then afterward, he left for Germany as part of his tour, Even though people were questioning why Kalu continued to avoid America, somebody already told us why. But let's leave that. Himself on the way to Germany, I think early this morning or late last night, after leaving America. I was waiting for them to wave, because that's this their, I think that signature wave for Kalu. They didn't bother to cover that part, right? But back in Nigeria, where the real thing is happening between Dangote and Pengasan between the traders, property owners, and the demolitionist, government agent of a TradeFair in Lagos. We're going to go to Lagos first, before Abuja. In Lagos, a few days ago, we saw their bulldozers of the government of Lagos State, last or something, property regulatory agency or so. They were out to demolish 19 properties in TradeFair international market in Lagos. People reacted like, why this sudden, why this sudden demolition? Why this destruction? Where were the government agents that gave approval for this building, this construction? So, different questions. There is more. So this morning, the traders in the remaining part of the market, right, they protested what they call the extortion of their members by, the agents, like, the shop agent, I think, as well as the non-ending increase in their rent, pretty much like an extortion ring above them to try to want to force them out. But they won't be forced out because they built this place with their own sweat and all that, right? Government didn't build this market for them in the usual way of saying, we have our own rights. We're supposed to be treated better. You cannot continue to treat us like this and all that. In TradeFair in Lagos, or should we say from TradeFair in Lagos? Let's go to Lagos.
The president of Balogu Business Association inside TradeFair addressing the protesters, say no to indigent. Indigent is going to more than him. If I have a situation report this morning, 29th September, Monday, 2025. The whole market was closed down. Ebigi. Over here catch it out in the ministry. 500K. He catch it out. I'm going to go 500K. You know, so they're going to say, well, the camera. I'm going to be 500K. They say so. Jana, the president of the market addressing the protesters. The president of the market, Mr. Oscar Paul ndị agent egbugo the youth na Balogu. Nọkọta shop ị na-akwụ 500,000. Ndị agent ji ekunu kọrọ ofu onye isi na-azụ bịa rent be so na rent shop a 2 million. Ọ bụ na ya akwụkwọ go pụọ ka onye ọzọ were take over. The whole youth nọ na Balogu market asịgo no to agent. If ọ na-abụ agent, no, bye bye from Balogu market. Ebe a ka a na-ekwu ndị Igbo bịa ha na-eme onwe ha ejeti ndị Igbo ịkwụ obere nwa esetụrụ ọkụ na chọp ọ na-akwụ 500,000 every year na chọp ije kolukọrọ wit ofu onye bịa chụpụ ya ebe a na-anarụzi onye a 3 million 4 million mara un like long. Any agent of name with an Abologuna, after sorry. The whole YouTube on Abologuna, we will.
Miss Xerox, don't worry, I'll help you. Okay. So what happened is that, to start with, everybody who knows these traders, who are mostly Igbos, right? They are the type that barely complains about being extorted. They'll pay, starting with whenever they want to buy lands. The land sellers, they are willing to sell to them because they believe that they are those who are willing to pay the bargaining price without any much of argue and all that. To start with, when they want to rent a house, while others are still pretty much concerned about the costs, they are willing to pay. Even if it is inconvenient, they would barely complain. I am saying this because majority of you would agree with me that indeed, right, this is true. Now, if you get to see them on Monday morning, or is it Monday or Tuesday now? Monday morning, lock their shops to protest extortion by agents who parade themselves as shop agents, housing agents. They'll be charging them this fee, that fee, and for a single shop, they will be charging them 3 million naira a year. And the house rent, the shop rent, or let me say the rent from this old money may not even be more than 1/3 of it, or half of it. The rest is just charges, illegal charges, agent extortion. And for them to lock their shop on Monday morning to go out and say, no, they've had enough, that simply means that thing is serious. An average Igbo trader, businessman will say, I don't know how they say it in Igbo, right? They just believe that if it's a business, even if they have to tax them, they will still run it and do it because the end user will be the one to pay for it. They usually joke about that, even though it is true. It is not an act of trying to, to sound, indifference. No, because it is true. If the government says, oh, we are increasing the custom duties on every imported this or that, right? And their local laws is also very much make it harder for local production and all that. So if they bring anything into the country and they charge them double the price of what they should charge them to them, they just need to get it to the end user. You will pay for it. And that is why, diapers, baby diapers that you used to buy for maybe 1,000 naira per pack now goes for maybe 2,000 naira per pack. By the time they tell you how it got to that 2,000 naira per pack, you will see the role of those who probably thought they want to extort them. So if these guys wakes up and say, no, this is unsustainable, it's not sustainable, then it is a serious stuff. So they went out to complain about not only that they are demolishing their shops, the buildings housing their shops. Again, they are losing money from those who are extorting them in the markets. And it is almost everywhere. So right now they are demanding that there should not be any agents when it comes to them renting properties. They should deal with, or there should not be any agency fee. It's crazy though. It is crazy. If I need a house in Nigeria right now, right, they will charge me agency fee. You get that now? And it's out of not being smart. In my own opinion, if you are an estate agent, somebody who gives out properties as your renting or selling, there is a way you have to factor in your own commission in a way that it will correspond with what the rate you should be taking. That whoever is going to be your customer, they won't even have to like single out, why am I paying extra 1 million? Because they don't have to pay extra 1 million for a rent of $1 million. It's crazy though. So that's why they were protesting. And somehow you would think the government should do something about it. Unfortunately, they won't do. But now you go pay. When you go to TradeFair and you want to buy anything, you'll be wondering why. Why is it 7,000 naira at TradeFair and it is the 6,900 naira in Balogun, or it is 6,700 naira somewhere in Oshodi? Just go take a look at those who are extorting them in these places, and the whole cost will be transferred to you. And that is why you shouldn't look at it and be like, yes, if they cannot pay, they should go back to their land. Those are the real microeconomists, though. The real ones who are, gathering the chunk of what, makes your total tax net, I think. They are meant to be the real economy, so to say. Right? When those big blue chip companies experiences a capital flight and the rest, the macro, they call it microeconomy, which is mainly managed by this group. Middle class is gone. The only thing you have right now is just the too rich and too poor. The others who are in between are just floating to try not to get drowned into the too poor. Because everyone is poor right now, simply by the poor policies of the rogues in charge. You want me to explain that? Don't worry. I will. Here is between Dangote and Pengassan, right? We shared this story this afternoon. I don't really have to to repeat all of that anymore. I can give you an update and what is likely going to happen next. So today, the Pengassan and Nupeng and others confirmed that they have shut the gas supply to Dangote refinery simply because of what's going on. And others are also threatening to start nationwide strikes if Dangote continue to push the way it's currently doing. So the government called them, should I say government representatives, including your finance minister, Wale Idun. They called them, not Dangote, they called all these trade unionists, TUC, Labour, NLC, Nupeng, Pengassan, and all of these guys to a meeting that I have no clue what will be the end result. Why? Because I want to believe that this whole thing is so straightforward, right? And if everyone is confused, the right, the right group of people that should set the record straight and set everybody right on the right path for the sake of your economy should be the government. But what are you going to do if the government is also involved in the entire chaos? And then acting as the peacemaker. Crazy, yeah? They have been at this since Stephen who became your president too. Dangote versus this, Dangote versus that, and that. So they called a meeting. And this was them when they were arriving at their meetings to talk about whether they should still go on strike. And as long as Dangote continue to double down, what do they want? Go and watch the brunch time this afternoon. You may have some kind of like an insight. But here, this evening.
So now what's in the day? That one is the line. You don't stay. Outside. Yes, sir. Powerful. Hey, sorry.
Honorable Minister, sir, with your kind permission, and we take the third standard of the national anthem, Nigeria be blessed. Shall we all be seated? A very pleasant afternoon. Secretary, Finance, the Vice President, Business Services, NNPC, the President Pengason, the management team of the Dangote groups, gentlemen of the press, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon before you is the Pengason and the Dangote group of company, the two organizations, on issues ongoing.
So, Dangote group was there. So it makes it more like, okay, yeah, they are all in the room to decide on way forward and abide by whatever decision they kind of agree on, right? We'll wait. Right, we'll wait and see how that finally plays out. On the other one, this one is just, again, like, just on the side. Right, it is between the trace officials and a driver somewhere in Ogun State. An exchange that got caught on camera, as usual, among many other dramas.
Oh, I'm not supposed to do this, but I think it has got into this. This is the trace people. This is no. This is my goods worth over 9 million naira here, and because of the road, everything got collide, and the place they are asking me to give them 170,000 naira, unless the truck will not go. So, if you touch my phone, if I don't slap you, make God punish you. No.
Did you see the state of the road? Yeah, his truck fell due to that bad road. Rather than get help, trace officials in Ogun State, their road transport. What's that for meaning of trace again? No? Transport. Something, I don't know. It was founded by Benga Daniel, the Gbiwiri Daniel. And their job was to see to smooth, running of traffic and all of that. Do their best to prevent traffic and just manage road, orderliness. They are not, should we say, maybe they are just state FRSC, Federal Road Safety Corps, right? That's the federal. So that's why they are in Ogun State. And some people got employed through that. For the first maybe 4 years or 5 years of their creation, they were being paid by the state government until Ibikunle, that is Irokunle or Ibikunle Amushi, became the governor of Ogun State. They were scrapping most of the things created by Benga Daniel then, and he was going to scrap trace, but they managed to reach a deal. And that deal then was that they would need to make their own salaries. So they then started giving their officers targets. If they don't find you, if they don't force money out of your pocket, they won't get paid. I don't know how many of you are aware of this back then. I don't know if it's still the same, but I was kind of so surprised when I saw them there demanding 170,000 naira from that business owner because his truck broke down. on the road. And he won't be let out of that place until he paid them 170,000 naira. In 2025, they have you believe that they have improved so much in their plate numbering stuff, like, car registration, enough that you would think the same technology that they told you they are deployed in advancing their number plate, registration, car registration. But the same technology couldn't really pick these numbers for violations and other, and then send their fines to them without creating that thing. But when I saw that video, I was like, oh, that's trace. They are still existing. Is Dapo paying them, or Dapo is making them to go and fend for their own salary too? Because that's the only way they survived Amosun. So it got so bad, right? Some of them are working and not paid. And they themselves knows why. The choice is yours. You can resign. You can, nobody will even sack you. But if you still want to be around, we'll pay you when we have money. I don't know if it is still the same. And there's probability that it is the same because it got so bad at the time, right? The person who they appointed to be in charge of these guys was forcing them to, like, they were giving them target of how much money they had to make across the states daily. If you are not making it, you are useless to them. So there's no point in having you. People suffered. So you tell me, I don't know how they are still doing it right now. We'll leave that a little bit. I think I've got something. Maybe that's not so much of something. So this are kidnappers. They called, no, not kidnappers. They are called one chancers. You see those people that they'll pretend to be give me a second. Those people that will pretend to be right. I got a message. So those that will pretend to be commercial drivers, like public taxis or public transport and all that, but they are criminals posing as that, only to lure their victims into their vehicles, rob them, and push them down from a moving vehicle. So 3 of them were caught somewhere in Port Harcourt. I think the area is called Obiri Ikwere flyover. It was called, right? Look at them.
You say make interview there. Where do you get interview? It concern you. Why are you people talking as if they release them now?
Not be released.
Okay, go cool down.
Okay, we really judge matter. No judge matter too. Nobody the judge matter. I will say the truth. Every people. Where the people where they some people say they chairman. So what is it?
They always have a woman or women as part of their gang, because if you flag down or wave down a taxi, and inside that taxi, the driver, a passenger seated in the front, and a lady seated in the back. So somehow, even if you are feeling funny about the whole thing, when you see a woman, that could neutralize you a bit and feel like, okay, there is already a passenger in the car. Okay. Anyway, Dugbe, so enter 40 naira. Okay, sir. As you enter, you are their victim. You are their potential victim. So you would have to learn in a very hard way that the lady is also part of the gang. And that's just like catching one group. I've seen several of them who have been caught, paraded. But when you look at the pandemic or the epidemic of these criminals of this particular crime, you probably think it is just a drop in the ocean. But it is also to remind every one of us as well that they do exist. And it should be very smart enough to possibly notice and then avoid them. There's so many other kind of like security conscious advices that have been given to people concerning these criminals. So I just thought I should mention that on the side again, right? And finally, one person went on to go and check at the former administrative seat of power for the colonialists in 1900. In 1901, when Frederick, the colonial thug, Frederick Lugard, was posted to Nigeria, and he set his seat of power somewhere in Lokoja, in today's Kogi State, as part of what could have been a memoriam or a memorial, sort of like, they have a name. Is it called Miscellaneum? No, not that. You know, it's kind of like a memorial park, okay, where people can go to and say, oh yeah, this was a place where they amalgamated the northern Nigeria and southern Nigeria for a commercial business purpose only. So it could have been like, oh, this is where they amalgamated, and everybody would have probably been visiting the place. It should have been a pure tourist, or it is a relic in what ironically should have been the exact symbolic state of the country that was forged inside that building. A total relic. A video made just a few days ago, just so you know.
Can see the amalgamation house, 1914. This house is the personal house of Lord Lugard. Can see Lord Lugard and the wife. Look at the brief history of Lord Lugard. So this money was this one? Okay, you can see this money was found in Lord Lugard's office. This is what? These are the microphones.
Motorola. What's that?
Can see Lord Lugard's house.
Yeah, it's still very good, even if it's before nothing happens.
Look at the boys' quarters where his staffs lived.
So where they did the horrible things, that those of us who are today, as Nigerians, would have to then inherit, fortunately. So Lugard is dead. Flora Shaw is dead. They are long dead, long time ago. They are, they are soldiers made, and everybody who made their, their work possibly easier till they did what they did. Every one of them is probably dead as well. But here we are, dealing with the mess. As much as some still love to point fingers and blame them, I am not so much of that same line of thought, right? But it is what it is. So thank you very much, everyone, for your time again. I am going to call it a night, and I will see you again just when I see you. Please like the broadcast as you are signing out, okay? And share it too. Check your notification and be sure that somehow it hasn't been taken off, especially on YouTube, so that when next I come on, you get to see me. So good night from here.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ ọ́ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. dódódódó.
Maiyegun diary na ibi #1.
Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú.
Maiyegun diary na ibi #1.
Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun diary na ibi #1.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun diary na ibi #1.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary na ibi #1.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun diary na ibi #1.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun diary na ibi #1.
Maiyegun diary politico.
Maiyegun diary na ibi #1.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun diary na ibi #1.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun diary na ibi #1.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ dódódódó.
Maiyegun diary na ibi #1.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin ti ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni.
ó fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.